Hi, my name is Braden, and I will be presenting my practice speech for my persuasive speech for communications class. And with that being said, allow me to begin. Imagine this: you're sound asleep, escaping the troubles of reality, in a dream where you just splashed down the game-winning three in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Now, as your teammates lift you up, the love of your life comes up to you, and she said, we've all had an experience, waking up from a dream, which we wish was reality, but what's even worse than waking up is waking up to an obnoxious sound of an ambulance driving across the neighborhood at 3 a.m. causing hearing damage. Now, why the ambulance feels the need to turn on its sirens when there is absolutely no traffic outside is anyone's guess. But what if the sirens on the ambulance sounded much more soothing that made falling asleep easier? Well, for that we look to our European friends, who already use the scientifically better sirens. The European-style sirens have a less harmful physical and neurological effect on the body. The European sirens also reduce sound pollution. Now, I know talking about sirens may be just as annoying as listening to them, so without further ado, let's just see how harmful they are to our bodies. According to acousticians at Pasco, acousticians, if I'm saying it correct, are scientists that study sound waves and music. A company dedicated to supplying physicists with supplies and information on the current scholarly consensus of physics today. They constructed patterns of sounds, like music, are more pleasant to human ears than random abrupt sounds. Looking at the sound waves and the patterns of American and European emergent sirens demonstrate this. European sirens are a high-low wave, while American sirens are a wailing sound. Both sirens reach 118 decibels, which according to the CDC, after 80 decibels, hearing damage is possible. At 120 decibels, immediate hearing damage is possible in less than 2 minutes of consistent noise. While both reach the same decibels, the hertz or frequency of the sirens are different. The highest frequency of the European sirens is half of the highest frequency of the American sirens. The high-low wave of the European sirens causes less damage to the eardrum of the receptor since its eardrum hits a lower hertz less frequently. Unlike the continuous wailing sound of the higher hertz and more frequent sound of the American siren, meaning that your eardrums hearing the higher, more louder scream more in the American siren than the European one, which just goes up and down. The American one's just like up, 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 down, 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 down. Now that we understand how the two sirens affect the body, let's see how they affect the environment. According to Bruin Kajier, a company from Denmark which specializes on sound and vibration measurements, says New York City has the third most sound polluted city in the world. The Egyptian National Research Center says that the average decibels noise in the city is 90 decibels and doesn't drop below 70. This is comparing to working in a factory day and night. While you can't change the infrastructure of the whole city, switching to a lower frequency emergency vehicles in a town as popular as New York should cause a decibel drop at the very least in the city. You may be asking, why haven't we switched now? And the reason for that is some people, you might set them up on a surprise date, but they don't want to get married. Some people are skeptical that people won't understand that an ambulance is coming because they hear these sirens. But according to Ricardo Mendoez, an EMS assistant director of the Mount Sinai Health System, he does not see any compromise to safety by adopting the same sounds as London or Paris. Due to the lower frequency of the European sounds, they use energy slower than the high, fast frequency waves caused by the American ones. This lower frequency also allows the sound to travel farther. So you'll hear the ambulance coming from farther away and not hurt as much. This is because since higher frequency, if you think of something moving quick, if it moves quick, it's going to use more energy quicker and therefore run out of energy. But since it's moving slower, the waves, it's going to lose the energy slower than the American ones. As the sirens pass by, so is this speech is almost out of your ears. Now we understand that the European sirens are less damaging to one's eardrums, less polluting to the environment, and cannot be denied as scientifically better. And so what are we going to do? It is time to stop paying taxes until the government changes our sirens and makes sleep easy again. Thank you for listening.